we're going to skip the intro and pick up right where we left off in the last video. I'll have a link in the description if you haven't seen that one yet. Let's get into it. So let's get into this chart. There's a couple different ways you can utilize this chart. You can utilize it to negotiate payments with a manager before accepting an offer, or if you're unhappy with your current pay structure. Another great way to utilize this is just for tracking your own earnings week by week or pay period by pay period. So I'll show you how this is going to look for Illuvium, and then I can just show you quickly how you could use it for pretty much any other play-to-earn game. For Illuvium, the way I see it working is there's going to be two different ways to earn for a scholar. It's going to be completing an overworld loop, where I see it as a flat payment amount in US dollars or whatever you choose to use, and then a percentage of the earned ILV or the earned crypto in the game. So for this example, I have $1.25 per loop. I have the time of the loop at half an hour. That's our best estimate right now, but you could always change that. So say it takes a little more than a half an hour, you can make that adjustment. And then you have a percentage of the ILV earned in the game. So for example, here I'm putting 50%. So the second column here, you're going to fill in the blocks in blue. Let's just say, for example, this is a pay period for 1 week, and your manager funds you 14 loops per week. So pretty much 2 per day. So you put 14 into here, and just by completing those loops for that week, you're going to earn $17.50. Now you're going to have how much of the ILV token you earned during those 2 weeks. So you'll put that amount in here, and then you'll put your estimate for how long you played the game outside of the loops. The ranked arena or survival mode or wherever else you can earn ILV, you're going to estimate how many hours you played during that week. Over here, for this game, we know it's ILV. You're going to put the price of the ILV token at the end of your pay period time. So for this example, you can see in that week, you earned $78, and it came out to $4.11 per hour. Now, depending on where you are in the world, $4 an hour could seem amazing, or $4 an hour could seem really low. But there are a couple other things you need to take into consideration here. One, hopefully you're playing this game and you're having fun playing. Even though you're earning while you're playing, this shouldn't feel like work. This should feel like play. Another thing you need to take into consideration is the current state of the crypto market and Bitcoin. If the markets are pumping and Bitcoin is high, then you want to make an agreement with a manager knowing that there's more downside than upside, and also thinking about the other way. If the crypto market is down and Bitcoin is down, you know that there's a much higher upside potential than there is downside. So I would say it's more acceptable to accept a smaller amount of potential earnings while the crypto market is down, but while the crypto market is really high and pumping, you'd be looking for a higher potential earning. Now, another way you can use this is just to keep track of what you're doing each week. So you can see this first line here, I put May 1st, 2022. At the end of your pay period, you take this line, you copy it, and you paste it below. Now, let's say the second week, you know what you're doing more, so the time per loop is cut down a little shorter. So say it's closer to 25 minutes. You did really well in your first pay period, so your manager decides to up you to 60% of the earnings. Since you did very well, your manager is now going to fund you for 3 loops per day, or 21 for the week. You stick to that 12 hours in the ranked arena and survival mode. All the while, the crypto market started moving up, and ILV is now worth $6.25. Because you've had a chance to learn a little bit, you've earned more crypto. And in that second pay period, it looks like you've earned $138 and $6.80 per hour. So again, you would take that, copy it, paste it here, and put in the new date, and then you'll just have a running log of how much you've earned for each of those weeks or each of those pay periods. Now, say the deal you had set up didn't include the overworld loop, or maybe this is just for another more simple play-to-earn game like Fancy Birds. So you're not going to do any loops here. You're pretty much just going to take out those first 2 columns. Now, say your earning is 40%. You put in 20 hours. ILV is at 625. You earned 0.4 ILV, and that's all you're going to copy down here. Now, when you're looking at it this way, you can do this for any other game. So say you're playing Fancy Birds and you have 10 hours of Fancy Birds played. The FNC token is worth 25 cents. You earn 150 of them. And then you could see for that game, you would have earned $15 in the week and $1.50 per hour. I'm going to work on getting this sheet converted into Excel or maybe Google Sheets, something that's more universal. And I'm going to post it in my Discord so any scholar or manager out there can utilize it. If you're looking for a scholarship, make sure to like this video and leave a comment down below. Who knows? I might just make you an offer. So you're a scholar and you have a scholarship. How are you going to retain that scholarship? There's going to be two main things. It's going to be your communication and are you getting the job done? So more communication in the early time frame of the partnership is good because you want to establish that trust and that partnership between the scholar and the manager. But really, once that's established, having less communication is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And also know that everyone's different. So every manager is different. You could get a manager that likes a lot of communication every day, wants you to check in. Or you could have another manager that might not need that daily check-in and just wants to know that at the end of the pay period, you got the job done. Quick little updates are welcomed. It doesn't always need to be a conversation. If any of my scholars, they just send me a quick little update or message that says what they earned for the day. I like to see that. It shows me that they're keeping up with the game and what they're doing. And over communication is a thing. So again, you don't really need to communicate that much if the manager isn't asking for it. And that's just something you're going to work out between the scholar and the manager. And then we have do your job. If you make an agreement, then just stick to it. One of the worst things that happens to a manager is they don't talk to a scholar for a few days or a week or a pay period, and then they go log into the account and nothing's been done. The scholar has very little risk in the game, so they can just leave and it doesn't hurt them. But if a manager just has assets sitting around for weeks, not earning anything, then that feels like money is stolen from them. So going down to this one, if you can't do your job or you're done being a scholar, you have to let the manager know. You can't just stop playing. And you want to have consistency and build trust so that that manager always knows what to expect. Then I just have a quick page here for do's and don'ts. So for do, you want to communicate, you want to build trust, you want to improve your skills, and you want to maximize your earnings. For don't look for sympathy. Don't stop playing without communicating that. Don't be disrespectful and don't burn bridges. And what I mean by don't burn bridges is if you just stop playing or you're disrespectful and you lose that scholarship, there's a very good chance that you won't get that scholarship back when you want it. And if you try to get a scholarship with another manager and they know each other, then that could hurt you in the long run too. A couple quick additional notes, both here from Kieran. On my last video where I was talking about the SILV2, I compared it to the SFNC in Fancy Birds. And in Fancy Birds, the SFNC didn't keep a 1-to-1 ratio to the FNC, which was something that was promised early on. That is the same promise with Illuvium. Kieran is assuring everyone that the SILV2 will keep a 1-to-1 ratio with ILV. So if you're worried about buying SILV2, know that it'll keep that 1-to-1 ratio with ILV for in-game purchases. Another quick note, I was asking Kieran about setting up scholarships. We have some good news and we have some bad news. The good news is this second line, scholarships will be possible. And the bad news is that you need to connect your wallet. That makes things a little more difficult, but not impossible. I'm looking into ways to get around that with multi-signature wallets and smart contracts. When I figure that out, I will make a video to let all of you know. I'm a true believer that everybody deserves an opportunity to play and earn from crypto gaming. Scholarships give that opportunity. I'm excited to start up some scholarships in Illuvium, as well as a couple other games. Make sure you subscribe so you hear it first. And as always, thank you for joining me in my journey through Illuvium. Make sure you click that subscribe button and check out this video I've highlighted here if you haven't seen it already. I highly recommend it. I'm also on Instagram, posting more content about Illuvium, Fancy Birds, Axie Infinity, and more. So go give that a follow. You can find all these links below, including my Linktree link. If you're interested in Drip or just another way you can support the channel, then use my link to join my downline. Thanks again.